Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Zoology Heart to Heart. My name is Prayatna Shila and today my topic of discussion is Hardy-Weinberg principle or Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. So you might be thinking that why I am sitting with this NCERT book. Yes, this is the book which is needed for all the entrance exams, so it's very important book. So we'll discuss our topic by using this book with it so that it will become very easy to understand and we can know that how important it is and how to study. So we will study the evolution Hardy-Weinberg's principle, 126 page. 126. Here it is. This is the Hardy-Weinberg principle. So before studying about the Hardy-Weinberg principle, you should know about what is a population, what is a species. So here I have written, yes, populations. Population is a group of organisms of a species living in a particular area and intervening. Group of organism of a species. We human beings is one species, bird species and different kind of species were there. For example, the Homo sapiens to which we all belong. So for example, we say the population of India. Why does we say the population of India? The population of Africa, the populations of Australia. That means group of organisms of a species. The Homo sapiens species, a group of organisms of the Homo sapiens species living in India. The Homo sapiens were living in India, Homo sapiens were living in Australia, everywhere, but they were living in a group. So they were considered as the population of India or population of some other country. And why we say the population? Because they were living in a particular area, that is the India. So they were living in a particular area and they were interbreeding. And it also happens that they also interbreed with the other country populations, but that is not occurring always. But mostly they were interbreeding in that particular area. Most of the people, maximum people, they were interbreeding in that particular area and they were a group of organism of a particular species living in a particular area and interbreeding. I hope it is clear that what is the population. Now what is this species of a species? I said that Homo sapiens, we belong to the Homo sapiens species. So what is that species? A group of any living organisms. It can be plant, animal or anything, but they must be having the common characteristics. They must be similar. Means the Homo sapiens, they all have the hand, they all have the similar structures, they were all able to speak, they were all having the superior brain, and yeah, bipedal, they were all having the hand, leg, similar types. So they were having the common characteristics. A group of interbreeding individual, and they must be have the potential to interbreed with each other. A human cannot interbreed with a horse, because horse belong to the different types of species. They will not be able to interbreed, so we cannot consider the horse in the Homo sapiens species. So in case of the species, they must have the potential to interbreed with each other and will be having the common characteristics, and those are called the species. A group of animal, plant or the living organism that will be having the common characteristics and will be having the potential to interbreed. This is most important. Now you are clear about the what is population, what is the species. Suppose we have 2n number of chromosomes, okay, n from the father, n from the mother. So we are having the n number of chromosomes, that is 23 from the father, 23 from the mother, and we are having the total 46 chromosome. That is the 2n. Okay, and we know that for any characters, an individual is having the 2 allele. What is allele? What is locus? And it's very important to know what is allele. So each of the 2 or more allele, for which we can say I had told that, for example, if you will take the character that is the color of the eye, so we are getting N from the father and from the mother, so we are having the 2, and that is the 46th number of the chromosome. So that is 46 chromosome, that is 23 pair. So we're having the 46th number of the chromosome. So if it's suppose this is one chromosome, this is one chromosome. In as I said, we will discuss that for the characters, that is the color of the eye. If the gene which is responsible for the color of the eye is present here, and in this chromosome also it is present here, they were present in the same position. Means in this chromosome also it is present this side, in here it is here also the same, at the same place on both the chromosome. Okay, so we can consider these as allele. I hope you all are clear. Means these both are called the allele. Suppose this is the gene which is present, which is the represent the character for the black eye. This is the gene which is representing character of the blue eye, or the both can be the black eye, but their position on both the chromosome is same, here the same place. So we can consider these two, and that make the character that decide whether the child or the progeny will be having which color of the eye. This decide. Okay, this both gene decide. Now come to the definitions of the allele, that each of the two or more alternative forms of the gene. Means I said it can be having the black eye, or the alternate black eye or the blue eye. It can have the different also, different types of gene also, same types of gene also. Each of the two or more alternative forms of the gene that arise by mutation and are found at the same place on a chromosome, and are found at the same place of a chromosome. They were present in the same place, and they can be, both can be the black eye or the blue eye, but these are considered as the allele. So for the each character, an individual is having the two alleles. Okay, and that two allele we can consider them as allele when they will be present on the same position on a chromosome. Okay, so this is the definition of the allele. Now come to what is the locus. Locus means locus, which is also related to this allele, a specific or fixed position on a chromosome where a particular gene or the genetic maker is located. So we can say that allele, we can say the characters, that is for the blue eye or any eye color, if they will be present at the same locus, then they will be considered as the allele, we can say. So here also, so this is one locus. Locus means what? Locus means position. Okay, if here also it is present in the same locus, so locus we can say this is the locus. It is specific and fixed position on a chromosome where a particular gene or the genetic maker is located. So this is the locus. This is the locus, and I hope you all are clear about what is the locus, what is the allele. We consider this as the allele. So there were two allele, this is one allele, this is one allele. So for each character, an individual is having the two alleles. Locus means the position where the gene is present on the chromosome. That point is called the locus. And the loci is the plural form of the locus. Now let's take the example. Suppose we are having a population which is having 100 people. Okay. If the population is 100, then for any particular characters, they will be having the two alleles, means each person two allele. Let's consider the characters of the eye color, whether they will be having the blue color or the black color eye. So let us consider the character for the color of eye. For the color of the eye, for this character, they will be having, each of them will be having the two allele. That means in this population, they were having the 200 alleles. Clear? So total number of alleles is 200, and from that 120 120 will be the black eye, and 80 alleles for the blue eye. Ratio. So black eye, we can represent it by the capital B, it is by the small b. So what will be the ratio? 120, that is 3:2. This is the ratio. Okay, now let us discuss about the term frequency. Frequency means how many peoples or how much peoples were having the black colored eye or how many peoples were having the blue colored eye. That is the frequency. So here the ratio of the frequency also we can say 3:2. Means here we have the frequency of the black eye is greater than that of the, is more than that of the frequency of the blue eye. Here the frequency of the black eye is more. So let the frequency of the black eye is P, and the frequency of the blue eye, let's take Q. Okay, PQ. This is, we have the formula that for one character, for any characters, so the total frequency will be 1. Okay, that the total frequency will be 1, means for the character that is the color of the eye, the total frequency will be P plus Q is equal to 1. This is the formula. So we take the total frequency as the 1. Let me tell you how we can take it as the 1, 120. So 120 out of 200, and here it is 80 out of 200. So here like this we will get this value will be the 0.6 and this will be the 0.4. So 0.6 plus 0.4 will be equal to 1. So from this the P plus Q is equal to 1. So we can also write this. So this is the formula, that is the total frequency is always 1. For any particular character the total frequency is always 1. The question can be if the particular frequency, if the frequency of the black eye will be given, that is equal to 0.3. So you need to find what will be the frequency of the blue eye. So it's that simple. The frequency of the black eye is given, that is the P is given. So P plus Q is equal to 1. So we can just put the value 0.3 plus Q is equal to 1. So Q is equal to 1 minus 0.3, that is equal to 0.7. The value of the Q is equal to 0.7. So like this we can get the frequency. If a frequency of a particular character is given and it will be asking the frequency of another, so we can get the frequency by the help of this formula P plus Q, that is that we will be knowing that the total frequency is 1. So it will be very easy to find out the frequency of the other part. So this kind of problem also comes. Now what is Hardy-Weinberg principle? So I have told that there is a population of the 100 people. For example, the color of the eye, that is for the black color eye, it is having the frequency 0.6, and for the blue color eye it is having the frequency 0.4. In this 100 population the frequency of the blue eye is 0.4 and the frequency of the black eye is 0.6. So I had told that for any particular character they will be having the 2 alleles. That means they will be having the 200 alleles. 200 alleles for that particular color of the eye. They will be having the 200 alleles. So when the next generation will come, they will be also having, suppose they will be having the 100 babies. Then they will have the 100 babies, and if that this frequency will be repeated again and it will not change, the frequency of the blue eye and the black eye, if it will remain the same, then it is called the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, means it is not changing. And if the frequency will vary, if the frequency the next generation will change, the frequency of black eye will increase more or it will become less. So any type sort of changes will happen, then that will be not the Hardy-Weinberg principle or the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. So Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, it states that In the next generation, that generation after generation, the frequency remain constant. The frequency of any character remain constant. That is stated by the Hardy-Weinberg principles. Now, for this Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium to occur, it requires some conditions, and this Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, it doesn't occur in case of the human, because for this the random mating is required and the population size should be large. Random mating is required. The random mating, it doesn't occurs in case of the human. They choose to their mating partners, so it doesn't occurs in case of the human. It can occur in case of the fishes and in case of the plant. For example, a female fish, if it lays egg and in the water, then any male will come and in their sperm fuse with these eggs, and the random mating occurs. In that case, it can have the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, and it doesn't occur in case of the human. So for the one condition, that is the random mating is required, and also the population should be of the large size. So let's go through the NCERT. In a given population, we can find out the frequency of occurrence of alleles of a gene or a locus. We can know, or we can find out the frequency of occurrence of alleles. The frequency of occurrence of alleles means whether it is changing in the next generation after generation, whether the frequency is varying or not, or it is remaining constant. And if it is remaining constant, it doesn't vary. If there is no changes in the frequency ratio, then it is the Hardy-Weinberg principle. And if there the changes occurring, then there is occurring evolution. So that is not Hardy-Weinberg principle. So this frequency is supposed to remain fixed and even remain the same through generation. Fixed and even remain the same through generation after generation. It remained fixed. That frequency, the frequency ratio, as I had told. So Hardy-Weinberg principle stated it using the algebraic equations. Okay. That also we will discuss. So this principle says that allelic frequencies in a populations are stable. The allelic frequency are stable and is constant from generation to generations. The gene pool. The total gene and their alleles in a populations remains constant. The gene pool remain constant. The gene pool means, as I had said, in a population means suppose there are 100 people in a populations, and those 100 people will be having the 200 alleles, and the total number of the alleles which were present in that population is called the gene pool. Clear? So this is called the genetic equilibrium. So, and I had also said the P plus Q is equal to 1. That's the formula. That is the sum total of all the allelic frequency is 1. That is here. The sum total of all the allelic frequency is 1. Individual frequency, for example, so we will discuss it in our next class. This all we will also discuss about the 5 factors that affect the Hardy-Weinberg principles. Means what are the conditions which are required for the Hardy-Weinberg principle to occur. So we will discuss in the next part of this videos. Otherwise this video will become so lengthy. So thanks for watching my video, and see you in my next video. Take care and bye.